Hello, hello. Welcome back to Rant Bollox, episode 22. We're a podcast that talks about all things movies, TV, gaming, and tech. What's new, Paul? What's going down? Apart from the heat.
The heat.
Oh. I think it hit a record, feels like 41, 42 this weekend.
You can tell we're not from this country because we're complaining about the sunshine and the summertime lasting longer than it should.
And when the winter comes in, we're like, where's the heat gone?
It's so cold.
Why can't we get a bit of both?
No, I give up. It has to break every little bit, but it's been 4 solid days of just heat, humidity, and I've got a south-facing bloody apartment.
Yeah, you got a fan in your apartment, yeah?
Yeah.
But your fan is basically a flamethrower.
Yeah, it just sucks the heat from the outside and just burns it into my face. I'm like, oh, okay. The flames are just running over my body now.
It's days like today where if you had an apartment and you were like, it's 10 grand for air conditioning, I'm considering it.
I'll buy 2 apartments and just spread it out so I can have enough room.
Yeah.
Oh, and I've been out downtown all day today.
Oh, yeah. You're off on some travels soon.
I want to die. I should just throw out this t-shirt and just buy a brand new one. It's so soaked.
Soaked in.
This is what you have to listen to, folks. This is why you come here.
Oh, yeah.
To hear all the latest news on Neary's moaning, miserable life. Actually, no, things are fine.
All is good in the world of Rant and Bollox.
Yeah.
So.
Especially because the games are coming out soon. I just checked. This weekend.
Yeah.
FIFA 18's out.
Yeah. I played the demo as well. And that is pretty awesome because you follow that Alex Hunter guy from number 1.
Yeah.
So you follow the story. And the story mode's fucking cool in it. It really does engage you. And then apparently NFL have got their own story.
Yeah, Madden's got
a
new one. And NFL and NHL are coming out.
Yeah. But the NFL one,
because they all come out for Christmas, they're smart.
They all get that. But the NFL one has a story like the Alex Hunter story, so it means you're going to be able to play through a career with him and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is pretty sweet. So, but with the demo for FIFA 18, he gets signed to Real Madrid. But, But he's on the bench,
like any good player at Real Madrid
exactly.
is.
So. But
and the other thing I saw was Destiny 2.
Destiny 2.
They have a brand new PlayStation 4 Pro bundle.
Oh, did it? Yeah. Is it white as well?
White.
They like to do their white ones. So I'm into the white as well.
I might get that one.
Yeah.
That might be the one I get.
The clear white one.
I spent far too much time yesterday just trolling through different colors of controller.
Yeah. That's when you know you've got a problem.
A gold one's all right. But gold makes me look like I'm a ponce. But gold makes me look great.
But gold's for winners.
Yeah, gold is for winners. And then there's all these which are way too much for me. You know, like the gamer controllers, which are extra buttons and they get double turbo mode and all that. I'm like, no, that's too far for me. The extra suction cup grip on this handle so you don't lose it. I was like, no.
You'll lose your thumbs.
And then I was looking, because I'm obviously going to be buying it soon. And then I looked up the TV.
Yeah.
And then there was now TVs are all rated on their lag.
Yeah,
and it's
input lag.
Well, whatever TV I was looking at, I was like, it's got a pretty good score of 20 millisecond lag.
Yeah.
I was like, 20 milliseconds. And then it was like, so it'll be perfectly good for most gamers, but for a competitive gamer, it might be a bit slow. I'm like, how fast are these guys in the TV?
That's
hooked up to their console.
That's what happens to me when I play PUBG and someone kills me. I'm like, he was running at 15 milliseconds or something. I'm running at 30 or 40 or whatever.
That's the only reason I got shot in the back of the head.
That's what I was saying yesterday. I was playing it yesterday. I had a great game, which I'll tell you about. But I had a game and I got shot.
Did you do it on Twitch?
Said to my wife, no, I didn't.
Then it's not real. So. It didn't happen. We went over this. It didn't fucking happen. You're just making shit up now.
I did it in just real life, just eyeballs. So. But when I died, I was just like, I've got a bit of mouse lag. Graphics aren't that great. I played one of those. I'm like, the graphics don't look that great. She's like, you just bought a new graphics card. They look fucking amazing.
We decided on a car or the graphics card. You got the graphics card.
Yeah.
I'd leave you, but the car won't start.
I saw they released one of these Beetle.
I guess we're doing the gaming section now.
We're just gone straight into it.
We don't even plan.
There's but they released this new vehicle, or they released a screenshot of the new vehicle, and it looked like a little kind of Beetle van kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then everyone was commenting on it, saying, "Oh, that looks cool," and some guy goes, I don't care what it looks like. I want to know what the horn sounds like. Because I've been hearing the horns a bit more. So when people are driving by, they drive by a house and go, like that. But
let you know they're there.
Yeah, I had. I'll just go straight into like the cool game that I had for PUBG. I was
Player Unknown Battlegrounds. For those who don't know,
down to the last 20
we're the
people.
VR and pub.
Yeah,
podcast.
VR
now.
And pub.
That's all we do now.
I'll just skip half a year. VR and pub. But yeah, I was down to like the last 20. Ran into a house, started looting the house, but then I heard upstairs. I heard it. So I was like, shit, someone's up there.
Gremlins.
So yeah, gremlins. And I was like, he's gonna be waiting with a shotgun or very good weapons because when you're down to last 20, they've got good weapons. You've picked up
all the shit.
So I was like, shit, I won't go up there. I'll like kind of wait for him or I'll look out the windows. And some good pro players can jump out the window. They like jump, crouch out the window. So I was like, shit, he might come around the corner or whatever. So I was like, I'm gonna play with him. And because I knew the blue was coming in eventually, but we were safe. So I opened the front door because the staircase was leading to the front door. I opened the front door, pretended to go out, but I actually just went back in. And then I was just in the house, and I didn't hear him, and he didn't hear me. And I was like, he's up there. Because I also was doubting myself because I was like, did I hear that?
Yeah, was that a different house? Was that someone?
5 minutes. Yeah. We waited for a blue circle to go in and another one to go in until our blue circle, like we were in a white circle, sorry. The second one, came out. I had to move. So I waited 5 minutes, didn't even move my mouse.
Yeah.
And then I heard from upstairs. I was like, I knew he was here. I knew he was. So I didn't move at all, came downstairs, and I just was like, I just blew him away. It was so satisfying. Checked out his guns. Yeah. He had scopes. He had everything. I was just like, you should have fucking waited longer.
See, that's why I needed this to be on Twitch, because you're saying he's like, oh, yeah, scopes. I'm making all these guns. I think it was a child. I think he shot an innocent child.
I probably did.
It was just part of the game's new structure. It was beta mode testing. They're putting villagers into the town.
I made that sound like it was a fucking movie, but it was good. That's why I love the game. It's just so good.
Shot a raccoon.
On to PUBG. 12 million announced today. 12 million sold. But there's a big story which a lot of people will be reading, and I was telling you on Friday about this. So PUBG, it's Battle Royale, 100 people, parachute down, last man standing. So there's another game now, which is out tomorrow, called Fortnite.
Hang on, I got a quick question.
Yeah.
Do they randomly, like one in every 100,000 parachute fails open?
No, a lot of people say that.
They should do that.
A lot of people say that the parachute should just be you eject it whenever you want. But then I can see a lot of people just being pro players and taking advantage, and they'll just eject it like a second before and survive. So I like.
Well, what they should do with that is they should. Because you watch a James Bond or something, they got like the altitude thing on his thing, so he knows exactly how he can pull it.
Yeah.
Like there's a certain point, like obviously that if you pull it, it's not going to work. So
yeah, I guess
as long as you don't know the altitude,
you
can let them pull it whenever they want, and the brave guy can be like testing it and be like, just hold, and he pulls it, and he doesn't pull it quick enough, and then it's like that Star Trek scene where he just hits the ground. You're like,
it could be,
your leg's broken, mate. Sorry.
It could be a pull system where like in like Hot Shots Golf where the bar goes. And you've got to get it in the middle. So it could be one of those. So and the closer you get to the ground, the quicker it goes. So you're like, oh my god, I'm really playing a fire here. So that could be kind of cool. But no, that does not happen. But I
think that should happen. Like if you're gonna make it, just because every now and again you're jumping, and then you hit your button to pull. Okay, I just pulled the reserve chute, and then you're just, I'm just gonna watch myself fall to the ground now, just waiting for the menu, and you hit the ground.
If you knew that was happening and you saw someone else, you just aim for them, like, I'm coming for you.
I got you, motherfucker.
It's just you. But one thing that was happening with the game was there was a lot of idle players. So someone would go to the bathroom, or someone would just quit out, not quit out, but
just stand downstairs, not doing anything.
You usually have about 5 people at the end of the plane just parachute out. It's automatic. So I found that out once because I was like, I'm going to wait till right to the end, and I went all the way to the end, and there was 5 other guys, and I landed, and I just punched 3 of them in the face to death, and I was like, I've got 3 kills, you know. But then someone else had the same idea, so that's a bit of a thing. And now, like some games, it's 10 people at the end because it's like 10 AFK.
So there's 5 that are lazy and then 5 that are waiting to kill them,
and then you're all kind of running around just like punching, but you want to kill a guy that's not doing anything. So I think they tackled that recently, though. There's something.
It's very interesting how this game, because it's beta, you can just, and it's tactical, so you can just see how everyone's like these
taking advantage.
It's like ebbs and flows. It's like, oh, you know what you should do? Jump out early.
Yeah.
Or you know what you should do? Jump out late.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what you should do? You should lock all the doors in the house and all this. And everyone's like, all the tactics are constantly updating.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why it's great, because there's no Call of Duty thing where it's just like the top guys get the best weapons, get the best things, and because they keep winning, they're at the top of the level, and they've got their scope see further, and it's like, no, you drop, you got nothing, and it's your brains, and you're constantly tactically thinking.
And you could get a 4x scope, a sniper rifle, or a couple of miniguns or whatever, and then you're like, oh, I'm done here, and then the best player could drop out and go, I've only got a pistol. You know? So it does like,
and a horn,
a frying pan. But yeah, going back to that Fortnite game. So there's a game called Fortnite, and it's basically a game where it's a first-person shooter, but you can play in the third person, I think. And you can build like little bases. So you can say, like, I'm going to build a little fort, and this is my fort, and then people have to attack your fort, and then or you attack theirs or something. But you do build stuff, but it's very kind of arcadey in action. So they've just released, which is coming out tomorrow, but they've released it to their customers like ahead of time, Battle Royale, and it's basically taken exactly everything from PUBG. So you start off, because it's a bit cartoony stylized, this one, so you start off in this like floating bus, all of you, by the way, there's 100 of you. You drop out.
I wonder where they came up with that number.
And when you drop out with these little kind of paragliders, and you can go down, and then it's last man standing. So, but the difference here is that you can build like a little base if you wanted to, and then venture out to other people, and then go back to your base. Or people can build like a pathway over the river, you know, and stuff like that, because you can like chop down lumber and things like that. Anyway, they called it Battle Royale update and stuff like that. Now the guys from PUBG are like, you've literally just ripped us off, like down to everything, you know. But then they were like, it's a computer game, we can do whatever we want, which brings up a big question, and everyone's talking about, can you really own a genre? You know, like you can't exactly say like, this is I'm Doom, first person shooter, I'm Wolfenstein, like those guys made those, but as soon as like Quake came out or whatever it was, you can't exactly, like the guys that made Doom couldn't have been like, oh, you're copying us, you know, like Call of Duty, Battlefield, but then now there's Battle Royale, you know. I agree it is cheeky, because there's 100 people, you are dropping out from something, and then it's random when you're out there. But I kind of waiting for like Battlefield and COD to do it themselves anyway, because those games look so bloody realistic, whereas like PUBG is awesome, but it does, and you need a really powerful computer to run it, and it does kind of look just okay. It doesn't look amazing. Whereas, can you imagine playing 100 people on like Battlefield graphics, or even Call of Duty graphics, and like that jumping out, like that would look incredible, because you've got like such a big team. PUBG is only like 60 people right now, so that's just a big thing right now. Everyone's saying, especially the PUBG guys, and they're actually,
I think they should be able to.
I think they're
challenge
doing a
that.
bit of a lawsuit against
they have to, because it's the same with movies. Like you said, you can't say we own westerns, but you can't make Unforgiven. You can't have John Monet, played by, you know, Rent Eastwood, and just have the story is there, and that's the story, and you can't. That's the intellectual property. I mean, the only difference, similarities are way too close on that one. Yeah, I think so. I think the fact that there's 100, you jump out and you kind of glide down slowly as well. And it's also the timing. So, because the only defense that company could come out with is if they could show a judge that they were working on this project before PUB came out, because then you would have an argument of it's just parallel creation. We both had this idea, we both came out with it. That I agree with. And but if he's like, well, here's an email that you sent to your worker saying, get me one of these games, which pretty much happens. Exactly. The funny thing is, Fortnite is done by Unreal, the guys that do Unreal Engine, like Unreal Tournament and stuff. So it's those guys. And PUBG is built off the Unreal Engine, so they're even working with them internally. So internally, like Unreal are just like, we're gonna take this idea. You know? But just I think it was bound to happen, but I just didn't think it was going to happen so blatantly. But the one thing with this game Fortnite is it's like got a bit of a cartoony style to it. So I actually prefer PUB anyway, because PUB's like
nitty gritty.
Yeah.
Whereas this
it
one
looks like a
bit more
proper
cartoony.
fight. Yeah.
So I'd rather play pub anyway, but
because it gives you that tension to it. You're just like, man,
and the sound and all that.
Yeah.
Like they've even updated in pub, like when you do your Red Bull or your pills, like they've got like you open the cap now and then you hear the pills go or the drink. Just
I would
things
think
like
that you know, COD or Battlefield, they'll just buy pub.
It's possible they might,
because then you just take the, like I said, the intellectual property, and you just skin it with your.
I think what you do is you get people in the room like yourself and I, and you say like, right, we've got Battlefield. Say if we worked in Battlefield, and we know pub's doing well. How can we take that formula, but even improve on it? So like Battlefield, you know, I'm just throwing things out here. Well, why don't we do 200 people, because that will increase it even more? Why don't we set a theme to it? Not battle royale, but we set, you know, whatever it is to it. It could be modern day times, and let's put it in a real city. Let's put it in London, and then also like change it up from there and there. You know, keep changing it up and say like, oh.
Well, they've already got so much already, everything to fall back on from the last few years, because they had Infinite War and all that stuff. So they can do techs and mechs and vehicles and all that stuff.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. And then, you know how like Call of Duty does their zombie mode all the time? I reckon a lot of games are going to be like, here's our game, and by the way, we've got like a battle royale mode, but change it up a little bit.
Yeah, obviously you've got to put in something new, some sort of system of like, there's 90 people all on their own, but there's 10 people that are a team. Yeah. Or
like you could just, you could do like 10 elites, like, or it's almost like, I don't know why I'm saying Wolverine. No, was it Wolverine?
I was thinking like Assault on Precinct 13, one of those like, you know, everyone's out to get you kind of thing. 300 kind of job.
Yeah,
just like
that would be insane.
You'd have, say, you'd start the lobby, and you get to put all your friends in. Yeah. And you have a maximum of like 10 or 12 friends. Yeah. And you all get to be on a team. Yeah. And you guys obviously then have like communication and all that, and you want to work together. Yeah. But for everybody else, they still have to kill everybody. But they can see the team members. There's like a little blue mark on them when they're running past. Like they have a uniform. Yeah, yeah. And you get double points for killing a team member. Yeah, yeah. But if the team ends up one of them surviving, or all of them survive, for example, there's only team members left, then they get double points.
Yeah, yeah. Stuff like that. Yeah. Like you need to mix it up and then have it like a unique element to your game.
Because they always do that kind of stuff when they're doing even deathmatch. Because you can just have straight ahead deathmatch, and then there's capture the flag, there's respawn, all whole systems and everything like that.
Yeah, sometimes you want the classic ones, but you've always got to introduce new and improved. But
defuse the bomb, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Drives you fucking mad.
So, yeah.
No!
Counter-Strike's still super popular, but because it runs on a lot of machines as well, that's why. But yeah. What else is on the gaming list? We've got Mario. So have you got Mario on your phone, by the way? Mario's out on Android. So they're...
Mario and Sonic is there. Is that the Mega Drive collection or Genesis collection?
There's a Genesis collection, but there's a Mario Run. So it's on like iPhone. I'm pretty sure it's on Android as well. So it's like it might even be a $10 game, $9.99. But super fun little game. It came out like 6 months ago. But there's an update for it coming out tomorrow or the next day where you get to play as Princess Peach, and then also it's got a new world to it. So it's good to see Nintendo kind of...
Super Mario Run.
That's the one.
Yeah.
It's good to
free.
See Nintendo. It might be the demo, but get it, man.
It's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Install. There. Steal your Wi-Fi. Taking your game.
But so they got a Peach update coming for that.
Your microphone just attacked you.
Just attacked.
It just went straight for his throat.
Peach update, new worlds. Just good to see Nintendo kind of updating an app, not just releasing.
And this is about the size of a Switch, so that's fine.
That is about the size. The new Samsung. We talked about FIFA 18, the story mode, super cool. Like I played the demo and I was like really into it. Demo has TFC in it as well. So I played TFC, and the only people with equal stats to TFC in the game were LA Galaxy. Everyone else was like Real Madrid, and I was like, I'm not playing, because I wanted to play at TFC. Yeah. So then everyone else was like Chelsea, and they were all just kicking their ass.
Yeah.
So, the only equal stats were LA Galaxy. So I was like, fuck it, play with Beckham's old playing grounds. So.
Yep.
And then the last thing is this Friday. This Friday is the SNES Classic comes out.
Oh, finally.
Mini SNES.
And then on Sundays when they take it off the shelves.
Yeah. Now, it'll be interesting to see that. My wife was saying, oh, do you want that for Christmas? I'm like, no, because that's 3 months away. It's just like
I won it for Christmas last year.
Yeah. Well, I can't have this for Christmas because in 3 months
it'll be gone till I've gotten rid of it.
Yeah. And I'm a tech guy. I need to have tech stuff like pretty recently. I can't have it like 3 months in.
And you got to play it so everyone out there can be like, hey, Alex, what are those games from 1987 like?
What's that Star Fox 2 like?
Yeah. So it's got everything you can imagine from Star Fox 1.
But it doesn't have long controller cords. So. That's pretty much it for the gaming. We did our podcast not too long ago with the Destiny 2 stuff. But, and then, like as Paul said, lots of games. I mean, November's Battlefront and Call of Duty.
Well, I was going to bitch about, not Mega Drive, Microsoft.
Yeah?
There's no games.
Oh, for the Xbox.
Xbox One X,
because I know that you're looking into the PlayStation or the Xbox, and
just Xbox need to fucking pull their finger out.
They do, and you know what's going to happen.
There's no. There was a release that Killer Instinct. You told me this Killer Instinct's coming out in 4K.
Yeah,
it's like next year.
Yeah,
it's like what the fuck does that help me, dickheads? Yeah. The only other thing is PlayerUnknown. Yeah, but that's on regular Xbox.
I've been talking to my friend.
This is like the whole Apple bullshit.
I'm almost convinced.
The 8 and the 10.
I'm almost convinced PlayerUnknown is going to get delayed for Xbox till next year.
Yeah,
like almost convinced.
I don't understand the point of having a 4K system without having a game for it.
Forza 7, which is actually out on Friday.
Is it?
But the fucking Xbox One X, whatever, isn't out until November. So.
Oh, for Christ's sake! So they're releasing the game for the regular Xbox.
Yeah, and
then you can buy the
4K version. Yeah. So you know what's going to happen now?
Hurts my head.
You'll buy the PlayStation Pro, which is awesome. I watched a God of War trailer the other day, and God, just so good. But you're going to buy.
You're saying that like you don't already have one.
I know. Well, I haven't.
I watched the trailer for the game that I could play at home.
I haven't switched my PS4 on for a while because PUBG has just taken my life.
That's true.
It's taken my life. But you'll buy a PS4 Pro, and then as soon as you buy that, Xbox will be like, "We have these exclusive games coming out."
Yeah,
they're gonna have to get one of those.
I'll have to get one of them too.
I do think like.
But you know what the difference will be is that people will know I'm playing my machine because it'll be on Twitch.
Hell yeah!
Unlike
you, Twitching with
you making up stories every day, playing games without.
I can't wait to play PUBG with you though. That'll be great.
But that'll be on PS4. As well, it
will eventually be on PS4. Yeah,
because then I might have a chance of winning.
I would actually enjoy playing it on PS4.
Not winning against everybody, just outlast you.
It's just unbelievable how you cope with a mouse and keyboard. Even like I'm comparing you to my wife as well, but it's just like moving around. Difference. Like you're just like, what is this alien device? It's just like I'm so used to it. I'm the other way around with a controller. I'm like, why is it so fucking slow? But at least everyone's on the same playing field, But
it's just dealing with a PC for gaming to me. It's like it's like watching a monkey use tools for the first time. I'm just like, how does it move? What's Z do? How does delete do anything?
It is a little confusing because I've been editing. It's a longer one, but I've been editing the gaming one of that together, and it's like me telling you, Z does this, then C does the crouch. Yeah. Oh, tab is your inventory. Now select that. Right click on that when you go. Now just hover over it. No, don't press. Just hover.
Of every game we could have done it one. The game where every moment matters and everything has to be super like on point, and you've got to be totally in focus. And it's like no. Up moves your cursor, but it doesn't make you look up. You have to press up and control and then move the mouse. Like,
okay, so I think you've got everything. Now run. No, put your gun away. X is put your gun away. Then you run faster.
You're being shot. Get down. How do you get down again? Get up. Shoot him. You don't have a gun. Punch him in the balls.
The keyboard's lagging. The graphics are...
That was the only problem for me. It was just the lag between my brain and my
Did you notice the graphics degrade as the more you got shot? So.
Stupid game anyway. Don't even want to play it.
Yeah, fucking shit. Graphics suck.
Doesn't even look like fucking a player.
I'm playing Fortnite. I hear it's out tomorrow. But plenty of games. We're going to have lots of fun. Christmas is going to be a good time. That's what Christmas is for. It's for not going outside because it's minus 40 in Canada, and putting a fireplace on and just
playing Star Wars.
Playing Star Wars, exactly. Getting an X-wing and just slagging off your friends for bumping into you or not.
I'm gonna have to get headphones.
Yeah, get like
because at least you can go into your basement, your man cave.
Yeah,
and you can sit there and you can play. I can't do that because I'll just hear the neighbors or shit. Fuck. Shut up! I can't hear if he's upstairs or not. Shut up! Is that the real upstairs or is that the game upstairs?
That would be incredible. Yeah. Actually, like Leah,
that's gonna be my Twitch stream. It's like, did you guys hear that? Was that in the game or was that in my house? And just as I'm saying that, there's like a fucking murderer on the camera behind me. He's just broken in.
It's like,
I think he's in the house. I'm just gonna get my gun out. Right click. No, right click. Hover over it. There.
oh God.
He took him down.
Well, that happened yesterday as well. I was like playing, and then my wife was like, "Oh, he's behind you." There was a sound or whatever, and then I was like, "No, I heard him to the right because you can hear left and right." And she goes, "That was Pixel the cat," and I'm like, "I can tell between real life and a computer game." I'm still not sure actually.
Yeah, you don't know.
But she was like, "No, that was the cat to your right," and I was like, "I'm pretty sure I can tell between a computer game and a fucking cat."
Yeah.
Truth is, I don't know.
Lost that game.
Yeah, I lost it. That was the one where the graphics degraded. So.
Yeah, it's always happening. It's you got to fix that. 12 million sold and they still can't get graphics right.
But going into some tech with this, where you were talking about your headphones, because I was looking at those TVs. I've been looking at TVs. You've been looking at TVs. We've both been looking at this thing.
We're not buying any of them. We just walk past the windows and be like, "That's a nice TV."
Tried to put it in my pocket, but
it doesn't work.
Wouldn't fit. Now we've been looking into OLED.
You just try and turn it sideways, and then you just try and like pretend that you don't have anything. You just walk out. It's like one of those illusions. Where it's like, oh, there it is.
That's
turn it sideways, you can't see it.
So bloody thin.
Yeah.
But one thing with these OLED TVs is they come with this Atmos sound, which is the latest Dolby sound that you hear in a theater. So when you said headphones, you might as well just get the best.
Yeah.
So get like Dolby Atmos headphones, which I don't think they're that much. Like I say, not that much. They're probably $100.
$7,000.
But at least for Star Wars, because I know the new Star Wars game supports Dolby Atmos.
Right.
So you'll be able to hear like better than like 7.
I'll be able to hear you screaming about how crappy the graphics are.
You'll be able to hear
these graphics are shit.
You'll be able to hear upstairs, downstairs, left, right, wherever you need to, like in another fucking house. But
no one can hear you scream in space, Alex.
No one can hear you. Sorry. But these OLED TVs, I just wanted to talk a little bit about those because they're so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And we just like them. Like you've got the new Samsung phone.
Yeah.
Which has got like
OLED
screen. So we're talking
iPhone have stolen it and they're going to put it in their phone.
They're putting it in their phone, but these TVs are just like crazy and they've got good response times. So people are using these TVs for PC monitors now as well. So back in the day, TVs, like even 3-4 years ago, TVs for a PC monitor, like you needed to spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because otherwise the refresh rate wasn't there, like when you move your mouse. But OLED's where it's at. It's just bloody expensive, that's all. But the only reason why I mention it is because I was in Costco the other day and I walked by one and I was just like, holy Jesus, what is happening here? Like the blacks are black and the colors are like real life, but absolutely insane. But that's a good little segue into the iPhone X because last week the iPhone 8 came out and there was no lineups. For once, Apple event, no lineups. You could literally just walk in, get an iPhone 8. Do we know why? It's because all the crazy mofos are waiting for the iPhone X, which is in November.
Right, so no one's bothered to...
Even though it's a $1,000 phone, people are still waiting for it and are still going to buy it. And I guarantee you there's going to be these iPhone, classic lineups. And Apple are just laughing. They're going to have hundreds and hundreds of people lining up outside their store. And each of them are going to be buying
and they're going to be
£1,000 phone or $1,500 phone.
But that's if they even have them built and ready to go.
Yeah, I know. I think they've only got like seven phones a store or something like that. That's like what people are saying. But I just find it unbelievable that people are paying that price.
There is a Dolby Atmos headset.
It's not $100 though, is it?
It's only for Xbox One.
Oh. No, there's got to be one. I mean, it's Sony.
It's by a company called Plantronics. And it's been designed for Dolby Atmos. So you can buy Dolby Atmos through the Microsoft thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then these headphones are now the best headphones to get for that. So
there's
Xbox.
There we go. Microsoft. They're doing something.
Yeah, Xbox have better sound than PlayStation.
To be fair, I think...
Don't know how much these cost. They look amazing.
Yeah.
But they're not out yet.
Sony must have something because Sony and their Sony TVs and HDR and all that, they've got to have something.
Yeah, and besides, if you're running it through a TV and then you just have a good sound system connected to TV. It's going through that anyway.
Yeah. That OLED TV, some guy put the sound on in a store. So he had Dolby Atmos playing through a TV. Mind you, this TV is super thin, so it doesn't really, you wouldn't have thought it would have very good speakers.
Yeah.
When he played Dolby Atmos, it was like playing sound meant for the TV. Man, it sounded like bloody amazing, like it was all coming around. But for a TV, it sounded like we were listening to like a 7.1 surround sound system. So Dolby Atmos, that's where it's at, and there's going to be a lot of films and things coming out with it built in. That's for sure.
Yeah, so. And then you've also got what's the other thing they're building? The 3D 4K things they're trying to implement now.
Well, they've got like Dolby Vision, which is Dolby HDR, so it like brings out the colors. I don't know about the 3D stuff. I don't know too much about that, but I know with these OLED TVs, they've got HDR, they've got Dolby Atmos, and then what's the other thing they've got? Yeah, it's got like upscaling and lots of other gadgets. But 4K, man, it's coming.
It's the way to go.
It's coming.
Although you have to get 8K if you want to do your gaming properly, because your thing splits it.
Oh, you're talking about Oculus?
Yeah, when you're doing VR, what people don't know is that
it does. Yeah.
If your computer's 4K, what it has to do is send 2 images, so it's basically running 2 TVs to each eye. So if a 4K processor is only giving you 2K screens in your eye.
Yeah.
So if you want 4K VR, you need to be running 8K systems.
And you need to run, like I mentioned last week, I got a 1080 graphics card, which is a really nice graphics card, fairly expensive. And you probably need to run 3 or 4 of those just to kind of even push a headset like that.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. But just going off that tech stuff that we were talking about with the 4K, this is some really interesting stuff. So 4K, everyone talks about 4K and 3D. Apple actually did something pretty big for the 4K industry recently. So I mentioned it on last week's podcast, but I didn't realize how big it was. So they are giving everyone that has a video that has movies from them, they're giving the 4K upgrade for free. So Apple are. So if you own say 10 iTunes videos right now,
right,
that you'd bought maybe over 5 years or whatever, whenever you've bought them. So say like The Martian, you bought The Martian 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You'll now be able to download the 4K version for free. They're upgrading every single purchase to 4K for free. So that's cool. But I mentioned that last podcast, and I was like, oh, that's nice of them. That's cool. What I didn't realize is they haven't touched the price on them in the store. So 4K videos in iTunes are actually $19, which is pretty good for 4K, because Amazon, the equivalent, they're about, I didn't know, but they were about $35, $40.
Oh yeah, they charge like the same as a full DVD.
So 2 days ago, Amazon just counterfeited it.
They faked it.
They're faking their...
It's not 4K, it's 4G.
They lied to you. And they've got 4K movies, $5 all the way up to $19.
That makes me so angry.
That what?
Because it's just like Amazon were charging double.
I know. And then now they're just
and then the moment someone else was like, oh, well, we're charging, it's like, oh, we'll do that too. We're so sorry.
It makes me angry, but also there's not...
It's the same thing when this iPhone comes out, and then I can just go to China and buy an iPhone, and it's going to cost me $70.
$70.
Exact same.
And it's probably
design.
A better screen.
Exactly, yeah.
So they're probably using that.
Doesn't have that piece of shit thing at the top of it.
But no, that is big news, because 4K TVs...
because you get a 4K TV.
Yeah.
It was like exactly what I said earlier with the Xbox. It's like, why buy this?
Yeah.
Why?
You need more reasons. You need more, like Netflix.
Like if I buy it. All right, I just I have a brain fart and I go, you know what? I love Xbox. Xbox where I have all my classic memories.
Sure.
I don't care. I'm getting an Xbox.
You sick bastard.
And then you're like, oh man, you got that Xbox? Like, yeah, I got the Xbox. I got that OLED 4K screen. Come on over.
Let's watch The Nightmare Before Christmas in SD.
Yeah. It's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
We could have just got a regular Xbox and watched the same game.
It's true.
Gears of War, Halo, Forza, FIFA. Like, it's just all going to look the same. Like, well, Al, that's what I spent my money on because I'm an idiot.
Meanwhile, I'm on the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, you're
Can't play with you.
Yeah, you're on the PlayStation 4 playing with 20, 30, 40 million people playing Star Wars. I'm like, oh, that's right. No one's bought this system.
But you're twitching.
I'm twitching, yeah. So I have real
4K.
friends, yeah. So my 3 followers, they're real. That's the other thing. Like, even if you're a Twitch stream, if I get an Xbox, I'm not 4K streaming. Like, no one is tuning in to watch a 4K
they don't
stream.
have the fucking bandwidth for that either.
Exactly.
So we learned that with PUBG. I was like, oh, I've got a Twitch stream up, and you were like, it's killing me.
Yeah,
because
I was like, what is going on?
I think I did like a really sharp 1080p.
Yeah, you were like 1080p, 60 frames a
60
second.
frames and a good bandwidth.
Yeah.
You were like, my phone is chugging like a mofo. And I was like, why? Why would it be doing that? And then suddenly...
Because that was the only option. It couldn't downgrade.
Yeah.
So it was like trying to catch up to your like thing, so I could get every time you farted in a house. I'm like, I just want to watch him, fail.
Yeah.
He's not going to win. He never wins. He won once. So it's just, like that's the one thing I think Xbox are going to find to be the biggest problem.
Yeah.
Because it's obviously releasing in November.
Yeah.
So you can get the Christmas market.
Yeah.
But who is going to buy it outside of idiots like me?
Well, I'll tell you exactly who's going to buy it. Unfortunately, it is idiots like you because you've got your OLED TVs.
Yeah.
And it's people because
they're thinking ahead just a little bit.
But also don't get me wrong. The Xbox can render at 4K. It's just
we're back to gaming. We're back to
gaming,
but it's technically
it can
4K.
Run at 4K and it can run Killer Instinct at 4K and stuff. But Killer Instinct's a 4-year-old game, and also I don't know when the patch is coming out. It can run probably Call of Duty at 4K. But then, so it can run at 4K, but I don't know if it's too little too late because there's so many people on PlayStation 4 that are playing now. Like, I don't know, your friends that did have the Xbox, they're probably on PlayStation.
Probably by now, yeah.
So. But also, like we mention every week, where's their exclusive games?
Exactly.
Call of Duty, here's your dilemma. Call of Duty, I'm playing on PlayStation 4.
Right.
So you're like, oh, Alex is playing on PlayStation 4.
He's even got it on Twitch,
suddenly
so it's
like
real.
Star Wars Battlefront. Oh, Alex is playing on PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
And then suddenly another game, and then you're like, oh, my brother's playing on PlayStation 4. So why do you want, as soon as a big game, blockbuster game comes out, say if you were a massive driving nut fan, and Forza
comes out,
maybe
you're
that's
thinking, okay, I'll play Forza.
Like, Alex bought an Xbox for Forza. Oh, I'll get that as well. Oh, and then as soon as he's got an Xbox, we'll both just buy it for Call of Duty. But I don't have an Xbox, and I'll just play it on PC as well. But it is at the end of the day, when you go drill down to the core, it's where your friends are. So if your friends are on Xbox, get one.
Yeah.
But,
they're not.
You don't have any friends.
Exactly. So that's why I'm stuck. I don't know which one to get.
Yeah.
I'm still going to be miserably playing by myself.
I think you should get a Twitch.
I'll be like,
and just play
I'll get the
PlayStation.
It's going to be a little bit more painful because I'll be like, hey, Al, you want to play Star Wars tonight? You'd be like, I don't have Star Wars.
Just bought an Xbox.
Yeah. Okay, mate. All right. And I'll ring you again the next day. Be like, hey, you free tonight, Al? You want to play Star Wars? And you're like, no, I'm busy tonight. I can't play. That's weird because I'm looking at Twitch right now and you're playing it. You fuck.
You sure you can't play?
It's like catching.
Says you're in a party with 5 others.
Yeah, it's like catching somebody cheating.
Yeah,
they're on Instagram like they had a night out. Thought you were sick.
Yeah.
Thought you were staying in bed tonight, you bitch.
Suddenly you see my Twitter and it's like, PlayStation, your block. A community member doesn't work. Like, I tried to block him.
You can't block me. I'm an admin, you dick.
But we've gone fully back into gaming.
Back into gaming. That's kind of where the tech is going in terms of where we're at now. Because Christmas is around the corner.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to look at, do I get a 4K TV?
Yeah.
If I get a 4K TV, do I get a Blu-ray 4K player?
Yeah.
If I get a Blu-ray 4K player, do I get the PlayStation Pro or do I get the Xbox 4K?
So here's the thing. PlayStation Pro doesn't play 4K Blu-rays.
No, it doesn't. It only plays...
But the Xbox does. So that's another little tip.
Yeah.
Here's a funny thing though. In Japan last week, they were selling the Xbox One S. They were selling the One S, which is a 4K Blu-ray player, which is actually quite a cheap 4K Blu-ray player. But they were selling it in Japan as a 4K Blu-ray player, not a gaming machine.
Not a gaming machine.
So they were selling it as that, and they were like, "Oh yeah, and by the way, it plays games."
If you want to play a game,
that was legitimate. Like they were in big letters, they were saying 4K Blu-ray player because it was like $200 or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, that's good. Oh, and you can play Forza and Gears if you want." But that's how they sell it. Also, Xbox in Japan is like awful. They just don't like the Western games.
It's because they just love their PS4.
They love the PS4 because of all the Final Fantasies and all the anime. Like the PlayStation VR out there. One of their launch games was School schoolgirl VR, and she's just like, she walks
Good
in.
old Japan.
I know. She walks in. She's got the tartan skirt thing, and she's just like, "Hey, I'm at school," and I don't know what the fuck I'm saying here, but she's just like, "We need to learn," and then she puts her books down. She sits down at the table, and you're like, "Well, I can show you," and then you got to pick up a pen and stuff. But most guys are literally looking under the skirt to see if they've modelled the pants. Yeah. So
that's Japan. Yep. Japan.
That's Japan. The last thing in the tech, because the tech is now the gaming apparently, is did you hear the big news with Uber in London?
Yeah, they got banned.
Yeah.
The license revoked.
Yeah, just like their reputation just shite. So they kind of, the license is gone. But there's a petition which has already got 1 million signatures in the last kind of couple of days. So it might come back. But I just like, Uber is like, especially for black cabs in London, is such a massive hit on them. So I don't know, like their reputation's not good. I would have thought it would have been fine. Uber's great in Toronto. Yeah. So I don't know why it's doing so badly in London, but maybe that's a sign to come. Maybe we're going to get that here or something. I know Uber's not in Vancouver. It's not even allowed in Vancouver. But no, I just found that really surprising because my bro still lives out there and he takes Ubers all the time, and it's literally half the cost. So that it'll just be good to kind of keep an eye on and see what happens with that. But
I'd be interested to see who the next company comes in. Like
there's Lyft. There's one called Lyft. Yeah, it's only in the States right now.
And it's just this thing of it's very hard to shut down that kind of model.
Yeah.
Or like until it's big. Like you can't do it early.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because it's just people in cars.
Yeah.
So if you have a pretty decent, app system. Yeah. You just start it up, and then after a while they're like, "Oh, you can't do this. You're banned."
Yeah.
It's like, all right, we shut it down. Made a couple of $1 million. Piss off again.
Piss off.
They can just make a new corporation from Uber and you do it all over again.
Yeah.
It's too hard to stop. That's why I don't think it's going to stop.
No, I don't think
They'll
so
just
either.
find a new way to legally... Because it's just people with the cars they already own.
That's the thing. That's why I don't
picking
really
up regular
how they can stop that. I mean,
you can't stop it. The way they're trying to stop it is because it's so big. You're stopping Uber and you're stopping Uber's app.
Yeah.
But you just start again. Just do a different name.
It's very much like torrents, like when like Pirate Bay, it keeps getting shut down or whatever, and there's other sites. It's like, and there's a lot of people that are like, oh, that site's shut down. Like, there's no more torrents. It's like, no, there will always be torrents. Yeah. There will always be torrents. Because like someone will upload and then like the site might get shut down, like Pirate Bay, and then another one will come up. Do you remember that guy Mega? Like there was Mega download or something?
Yeah, I remember.
But his site got shut down and everything. He moved to New Zealand because there's like different laws out there, and he just signed up for a new address. But
and started again.
And started it again. Yeah. And no one could do anything. So same thing with Uber. Like as in they'll find a way of going back into London, and if worse comes to worse, they'll just register as a new, name or something, and just go back in again.
The film industry is slowly starting to change on that front. Like that Apple thing where they're dropping the prices. Yeah. That's a great thing. But that's also why people start torrents. Like, I'm not paying $35 for a 4K thing when I know you could have been charging $20. Fuck you guys.
I find that really interesting, your reaction to that, because when I read it, I was like, oh, this is great for the industry, and I might get a 4K TV and stuff like that, and then suddenly I read it as in like, oh, it's great, it lowered the price, but then you saw it completely like, you fucking assholes, because you were charging us $40 for The Martian, but now you're okay with charging us $17. Yeah.
And then it's the other thing of Cineplex. Yeah. They have a new thing now where you buy a ticket and then you'll get a discount on the digital copy of the movie. Yeah,
what's that called? I always see that. Mega ticket.
Yeah, whatever. Super Saver ticket or whatever. So you get the movie ticket and then you get whatever 500 points and you'll get the digital download. Yeah. And I think it adds up that like the digital download's about $5 cheaper or something whatever. Yeah. I was like, that's great because then you can do it.
Of course.
My problem with that is they're selling that the wrong way. Sell that at the end of the fucking movie.
I guess.
Why am I going to buy a ticket for Kingsman and be like, well, I'm going to pay you $40 now? Yeah. In the hope that this movie's good.
That's true. Yeah.
You should do it afterwards and have like a reminder email and be like, upgrade now in the next 24, 48 hours. Sure. If you pay an extra blah, 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 you'll get a discount on it.
That's a very good point, actually. It's just like, by the way, guys, you've just seen that movie. You love it. Spider-Man.
Yeah. Exactly.
Give us another $10, $15, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And we'll give you the digital download.
Yeah.
And we'll also give you this. You know,
it's a good idea, just badly implemented.
But they can also, it's almost better marketing because they can lower the price in the way. If you do it before the film, you have to tell them that you're buying a cinema ticket and the movie.
Yeah.
Whereas if you do it after, like you just saw that movie, spent your money, whatever.
Yeah.
Just give us another 17.
Yeah.
And you can have the movie, and you can also have this. You know, whatever. So.
Or at least do it on a blank check kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
You can buy it, and you get a purchase for a digital download in the thing.
Yeah.
Which does not have to be Spider-Man. It doesn't have to be Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, I do like what they do as well with DVDs, where you buy a DVD now and they'll give you the digital download as well. Yeah, I think that's cool.
Exactly. So yeah,
that's a good little idea.
Like the industry's slowly starting to change. But was that kind of bullshit with Amazon being like, oh, we're going to charge $35 for a digital? It's like, fuck off.
It's fucking annoying, and also it's not even fucking. Can't even hold it.
Exactly.
There's no bloody case.
There's something something I'm going to look up for the next time we talk. I remember Bruce Willis was. Yeah, it was Bruce Willis. Yeah. He's a prick anyway. But this was a good thing of.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's
we're
what
definitely doing that at Christmas, by the way. We're doing commentary.
He challenged the iTunes thing, and I'm going to look it up right now. Basically what it was that he wanted to make sure that when he dies, his iTunes account and all the money he's paid for all the stuff in his account can be passed on to somebody else, just like in his will. And the iTunes, that's the thing. iTunes is just saying, no, you buy your iTunes. Yeah, that's a non-transferable asset. Right. He's like, but I paid you for it. I own it. Yeah. Even though it doesn't have a physical thing. Yeah. He's Bruce Willis. So he's like, I got tens of thousands of dollars spent on albums across thing because he just buys it. He doesn't torrent it like we do because he's a dumb egghead fool. I'm sorry, I just heard he's a prick. I've heard a lot of bad stories. He's a prick. Yeah. But that kind of thing is a very important point of like the digital downloads of like, oh well, you digitally downloaded like 60 movies last year. Yeah. Oh, your computer up and died. Tough shit. Buy them all again. Right. It's like, you fucks. Yeah. At least if like. You know, a DVD gets broken or something. You're like, I can see it's broken. Yeah. I didn't lose all my DVDs because this one hard drive thing broke. Of course, it's like, fuck.
Look it up.
Yeah, I'll look it up. Didn't happen.
No?
He didn't sue it. No, it was a false story.
I know that like Metallica on the music side have done that with like Napster and all that lot. They've said like, you know, they didn't like the way where that was headed, but
it was just a hashtag fake news.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, somebody posted and someone else posted and someone posted it and it just happened.
I'm sure there was someone else that would.
The general idea is still you can't access email messages after someone dies. Right. But you might be able to get iTunes Music. Interesting. Because it's a digital asset. So it's just like anything else. You've technically paid for the digital bits. Yeah. So you're licensing them. It's like when you buy a CD.
Here's the thing. Say like you give me your password, I can log into your stuff. But say if you passed or whatever, I have your login and password. Okay. But I can't transfer your stuff to mine. The only thing I could be able to do, I'm just trying to work my way around it, is add you to my family plan, like in iTunes, and say like he's part of my family, and then we actually share the same videos. Yeah. But you can only do that up to a certain amount of people. But I'm just saying, like, say like you had 100 movies on iTunes right now, and I knew your password. Right. I knew your password to go into it, and say like something happened to you. The only way I'd be able to access that is obviously through the password. But I don't think I'll be able to transfer your 100 movies to my account. Like they're always going to be on your account.
Yeah, because I license them in my thing.
So, but even with family members, I'm not sure if you can do that. But it's interesting.
Yeah, because then there's the whole thing of I don't know. Yeah, like if I put in my will that I want to transfer it, and it's a physical copy of a book. Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. Yeah, of course.
So it should be the same bloody thing. I want to be able
to transfer my iTunes movies to. Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to look at the fine print, I guess. So, what's the? There's a documentary on Netflix which I haven't seen, but it's reading the fine print of everything. What the hell is it called?
Oh, I haven't seen that.
It's called like copyright or something.
Right.
Read
before signing.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Read before burning.
Apparently it's like super interesting, and everyone's just like, holy shit! Like, do not skim through the small text, you know. But yeah.
Oh yeah, never. But this is the weird thing. We're getting into a conversation now. They like, oh, did you read the iTunes agreement? Yeah. Did you read the fine print?
Yeah.
Did you? What does it matter? You can't do anything about it.
You literally have to say yes.
You have to say yes to get the product.
Yeah.
It's not like you can turn around, go to your lawyer and be like, can we talk to Apple, because I would like to make sure that in future when I download a particular project that I don't have to abide by these terms.
Yeah.
And the lawyer would go, no, fuck yourself, you idiot. I'm not fighting Apple. Like, we live in a world where, and we've talked about this before actually, and someone brought up in the comment section.
I've never spoken to you before today.
No, not you. I'm talking to my computer.
Okay.
The Google issue in Europe, where Google were getting sued because they were advertising their own products.
Dominating and yeah.
And my point was, Google's a corporation. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
No one is making you use Google.
Sure.
And one of the flip sides of it was, Google's so big now, it's basically an amenity. It's like water. It's like electricity.
Right.
The government kind of has to make sure everyone has access to it. So you kind of hit that gray area of like, when is Google big enough that you have to use Google? Okay?
Right.
You don't. You don't have to use Google, but it's now become a necessity in your life. Same thing's happening now with all these Adobe contracts, with these iTunes contracts, with all this stuff. It's like, you don't really need iTunes. You can get through life without it. But you do kind of need all this stuff that we're living with day to day. But there's no get out of it.
Yeah.
It's like you're either in or you're out.
Yeah.
And they can absolutely control everything.
Totally.
And that's not the same as when you used to go out and buy a book or go out and buy a CD.
It's yours.
That's yours.
Yeah.
You take it home and you put it in your CD player.
Yeah.
But now it's all so compacted. Like, your iTunes player is on your MacBook.
Yeah.
And you're getting your music from your iTunes.
Authorizing it on different machines.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
We're getting into a very dangerous... This is the kind of fear that people have of like corporations, of like, what's in that contract?
Yeah.
Because it's not a choice anymore of reading the terms and agreeing to the terms. Now it's either you do everything that we say or you don't get the product.
Pretty much. I mean, if someone...
There's no lawyer standing at HMV saying you can't buy the latest copy of Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
It's like, you walk in, you buy it, you walk out.
Yeah.
That's the transaction. HMV don't care what you do with it.
Yeah.
But now you can't do that. Now you have to play the game to get what you want.
Totally. Yeah.
And they make the rules straight out the gate.
Yeah.
And it's very sneaky and tricky at this point.
And they can alter them as well if they wanted to.
Exactly, because that's in their contract.
The blocks, and no one's going to go back. Well, some people could go back, but then they'll be like, shit, it was written in here.
No, but you don't even have to. Yeah, it'll be written in there in subsection paragraph B that the corporation retains the right at any time to change these without prior notice to the thing.
Yeah.
Which is, of course, a horrible thing, which is like the most dangerous thing to have in a contract. It's like saying, me and Al are going to write a contract and I can change it whenever I want and you don't have to be in the room and it's still legally binding. So I could just go off and write in the contract that you now have to give me your house and car, and then I walk back and go, there's the contract, and you're like, oh, I didn't sign that one. No, but you signed the last one, and the last one gave me the right to change it, and now this is the one we're with.
Yeah.
And like, Apple could do that, or any one of those corporations.
Technically they can do that. Sneaky, bad reputation. What happened to Uber could happen to them, you know. As in, like, it has knock-on effects as well. But
obviously,
I totally agree
we're living in a place where you can still think they're not going to be that bad.
Yeah. But there's always, but also...
They're not going to turn around and be a James Bond villain.
No. But there's the wonder of the world as well, of today's world, is people reading the fine print, is that there is actually someone out there that has done that analytic approach to their fine print, and they'll probably come up with things like you were just saying there, like, by the way, if you sign this company can do this, that, because where did that happen? Happened in two areas. Well, one of them was PlayStation, going back to gaming again. When the PlayStation 4 came out and the Xbox was saying when you buy a game on Xbox, it's yours and it's like kind of linked to your console.
Yeah.
And PlayStation were like, no, when you buy a game, you can give this game to your friend because it's your game, you know?
Yeah.
It's not tied to your system kind of thing. It's just a CD. Whereas Xbox was saying like, oh, we want to lock
I
it
remember
down.
that, yeah.
And then PlayStation...
So it's like stupid because if I go, you know, Al's birthday's coming up, I'll buy him the new FIFA game. Yeah. It's like, no, you own FIFA.
Yeah, it's yours.
It's like, no, I want to give it to my mate.
Yeah. And then, so PlayStation actually counteracted that really nicely with like a small little ad saying like, hey, John, this is my, you know, PlayStation 4 game. Yeah. Do you want to borrow it? Yes, I'd love to play that. Here you go, John. You know, it's like, this is your game kind of thing. But what I was saying is like, yeah, you can't get away with stuff like that these days, because if Apple were to say change that, or Google were to change some of their little terms, it'll be on the front page of The Verge and people like that, and they'll be like, they'll oh yeah, like
there's still a legal side to it where the lawyers are like, you can't do that. You can't do that.
They can do it, but people will notice, and then when people notice, and you get all that negative energy.
The first time you do it, then after that you're done.
If you're on the front page of The Verge for being a dickhead, your company's probably going to die.
You're going to be in real trouble, unless you're Apple, in which case they own everybody because we all signed. Yes, I agree.
Yes,
but anyway, that was just a conversation with like. We spend a lot of money on all these products, and we're like, do we own this shit now?
Yeah.
It's like, no, you know, fuck all. There's a ways of getting around it. I know, like if you do die, your family can contact the people and be like, can we have access to the account? And then like they'll put you in with customer service or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
Because I think that happens with Facebook. Like if someone dies, you just be like, hey, this person's dead. I want to close the account.
Right.
Or I want to set up a memorial page or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. The last thing I had for tech was the Intel processors, the ones that are going to go in the new iMac and everything. They are coming out on the 5th of October. So if you were to build your own PC, if you're thinking about building your own PC.
Yeah, I was going to do it tomorrow.
So these are the Intel Coffee. They're the 8th generation. So it also means that like the new MacBooks.
Wait, Coffee. So these are beyond KB?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there was KB, Skylake, and now it's Coffee.
Right. So the new MacBook Pro, which just got KB,
it's got Skylake.
So doesn't it have KB Lake?
So it's the new MacBook Pro is a generation behind now.
Sweet Jesus Christ.
Well, from October it will be, but then saying that, the iMac will have...
From October, that's a week away, Al.
I know, yeah. But then the iMac will have the new Coffee... the
iMac
Pro,
whatever,
iMac Pros, which also brings.
Wait, they'll have the Coffee.
They'll have the brand new ones, yeah.
Right.
So the iMacs will have the brand new.
It's great, but I'm not buying an iMac Pro.
Well, you said last week you might be.
I might be, but at the same time, I'm probably not.
But you're getting one of those, a 4K TV.
I'm getting everything.
You're getting everything.
In case anybody doesn't understand what's happened, I'm selling drugs. It's going very well. This TV show, I don't know if you've seen it, it's called Breaking Bad. Some great ideas in there. So now I'm selling blue meth.
And I'm buying the drugs. And then selling them on.
I don't understand how Apple are still shit. How are they still shit at this? They just had this whole announcement in the summer of like, we're going to the latest top of the line KB Lake system.
And then October the 5th, no.
No, you're behind again.
Yeah.
They weren't even on the same page before they were already a generation behind.
They won't upgrade their MacBooks. There's a small chance they'll do it in October. I don't think they will. I don't think they're going to upgrade until March, April next year. So, but saying that, they're still super powerful machines. And I was in the Apple store on the weekend because I wanted to check out the 8. I wanted to see if they had the X there because I was like, I'll give you $2,000. No, I just wanted to see if it was there. It wasn't there. However, I did try. I'm on a MacBook 15-inch Retina.
Right.
I did try the new one equivalent of that. Fuck, it was good. It was the black chrome, whatever, the same thing that the iMac's going to be in.
Okay.
It had.
Wait, the 15-inch MacBook Pro is black? Yeah. I thought it was just grey and.
No, you can get it in. You can get
grey
it like
and duller grey.
The dark grey, whatever.
Yeah.
So it was all
grey
dark grey
and more grey.
The bezel, like right now, I've got like quite a thick kind of black bezel on this.
Right.
So it was a lot thinner, and then it had the OLED bar.
Yeah.
And then OLED again.
OLED.
And then it was probably getting close to half as thin as this, and I was just like, if I run No, but I was like, this is.
You can tell which one of us is a designer because you're like the bevel.
It was
the thinnest. I'm just like,
slick.
What do you mean it's got the old processor?
Yeah.
I want it to be fast.
Internals. Well,
I keep getting shot because I'm 20 millisecond lag.
You could run pub on that. You could run pub on that one.
Yeah.
But you'd have to boot into Windows. But anyway, it was nice. So, I was.
It's
like
still shit to go out and drop money on a Mac.
$3,000.
Yeah, and you're just
knowing
like,
that coffee's just on.
It's
on
right
October.
there. Yeah.
I know.
And you're just like, I could just get two Dells, and they both have the top end processors.
Yeah.
And I could just have one of them running Mac and one of them running Windows, and it cost about the same.
Oh man, it's so annoying. But then when you look at it that way, and you look at the iPhone, and the iPhone's $1,000, but then we're looking at OLED TVs. People think we're rich or something.
Oh yeah, we're not rich by any stretch.
No.
I haven't had a TV. For everybody who doesn't know, I haven't had a TV for 5 years.
You honestly haven't, no.
Yeah, like the phone update was like the biggest thing that happened in my life since.
If my brothers are listening to this, they won't fucking believe that I actually want another TV. They're like, you've got one downstairs.
Yeah.
You've got a new one upstairs, like new one from like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Now you want, I'm like 4K.
4K.
Yeah.
I think the last time I had a TV was like the first season of bloody House of Cards. I think that's the last time I had a TV.
Yeah, I remember Paul moved into his apartment and you kind of like stripped yourself bare in a way. You were just like,
nothing.
Don't need this, don't need that. And then I remember our friend Steve was just like, so what are we going to move into the back of the van? And he was like, your TV? He's like, no, I don't need that. And then I think you even like gave me your Xbox.
I gave you an Xbox,
and then, and then Steve was like, this is madness. He's like, you need a TV.
Yeah.
But then this is totally true. You're like, I've got my fucking laptop.
I've got my laptop, yeah.
That's
got my
laptop.
Yeah.
You know? But I do remember when you didn't want your TV, I was just like, the man's gone crazy.
He's gone mad. It's all that meth he's been making in the basement.
Yeah. But these days, that's all you need.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Until now, but nowadays it's 4K, so you need a 4K TV.
It's all about 4K.
Until they bring it
comes out next week.
Yeah, exactly.
With Intel's
coffee in it, bloody
coffee
bullshit.
lattes.
It's fine. I don't want the chip. It's called coffee. That's how much of a problem I have with coffee. I'm like, no, I don't want it.
Don't even get into that. I have a whole episode about your eating habits and drinking habits. So.
I'm gonna be better. I'll get better. I'm not gonna be better. I'm gonna get worse.
Doesn't like eggs. Doesn't like coffee.
I eat eggs.
I don't even know why we're friends.
I eat eggs, and occasionally I have.
I want to.
When I'm forced to eat eggs.
If I get a video of you eating eggs, it will go viral.
I'm just saying, eggs are failed chickens. Why don't you just go out and get a chicken? Have some chicken, some bloody KFC, some Popeyes. Making myself hungry now talking about this.
I had Popeyes for the first time last week.
I had mine.
It was good.
2 or 3 weeks ago.
For the first time?
First time.
Fuck,
because one up at the corner of my place just moved in.
Yeah, we didn't have it together, by the way, guys.
No. So, I watched you eat yours, but you didn't know I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like your new couch, by the way. It was great. I was watching from the lawn.
I don't have a new couch. I'm not rich. I just want to get this across. It's half the reason why there haven't been any new videos on my side of the bloody content, because this laptop has been pushed to its limits.
Unbelievable laptop. Like, honestly, a wind-up Toys R Us toy could probably render as fast as that. So.
Yeah, I did out the latest YouTube video, the bloody... There's not even a video. It's just a podcast with pictures.
Well, I remember...
And I was like, I'll have that up for you in about 7 or 8 hours.
I remember I asked you to put that up. I was like, do you mind putting that up? And then you were like, yeah, I'll be up, in the afternoon. I'm like, I asked you fucking 3 days ago. It wasn't 3 days ago. But and then I remember thinking to myself, I'm asking him while I'm on a fucking Retina 27-inch
2 bloody screens. You're sitting in work. You're just like, I'm just doing this.
Yeah, do you want to fucking hurry up? So,
and this is another thing about Al's office is that ever since I started doing the longer bloody... digging deeper videos, I just bring them here.
Yeah,
because they're like 5 gigs.
Yeah, to upload.
Oh, bollocks, that's what I forgot to do today.
To bring the...
Yeah, because the pricks, this for people who watch the Digging Deeper, the Prestige one, fucking assholes.
You were saying.
All right, let me explain this to people. Every time I put up a video, it's full of all the footage from the movie, clearly. But it's an essay. It's a video or a movie review. It's an analysis. So it's fair. Like, they can't stop me from talking about it because it makes no sense. At least I think my videos are pretty informative or just funny. But either way, that's fair use. You're allowed to use whatever you want for that.
Yeah.
It's the same reason that you can put up videos about the video game.
Sure.
Because you're just reviewing the game. And that's kind of the point of having, social media, is to talk about shit. Anyway, every time you put up a video, they flag it. And then I say, actually, no, it's fair use. And then they come back and say, oh, of course it is. No problem. They cleared the video.
Right.
This time around, I got flagged twice. I got flagged for the video and I got flagged for the music in the video. Because I used the soundtrack as well.
How much did you use of it? The whole thing, or
like I used the
sometimes that's like
I use the soundtrack for every film I do, like the Mad Max one.
Yeah.
I use the soundtrack for Mad Max.
Right. Yeah.
And for the Terminator one, I use the Terminator soundtrack because that's the point of it. I'm trying to show you the visual style that the director went for and the music style, because like that's kind of the thing. Like. I don't think it's fair to do like one of those big, long, hour-long ones and then cheat with different music. I'm like, this is the closest analysis I can give you because this is what the music feels like and sounds like and all that. So I was like, shit, maybe I shouldn't have put the track in. Turns out it wasn't the music track. There's a scene in the movie for The Prestige where Hugh Jackman has a little speech right at the end. And that's a very important speech for his character, for the film, for everything. So I just left that to play as part of my analysis. I just get to that point, and then I leave it. And it plays out in real time. It's about 45 seconds.
Right.
This very emotional moment he has at the end of the movie. That's what they flagged. So the people who own the music flagged the music that was on the actual movie.
Oh.
So I think it's Warner Brothers own it. They cleared the movie.
Right.
But for some reason, the guys who had the music in that scene said, no, you can't have that. And I'm like, this is Warner Brothers movie.
Yeah.
But what had happened now is if you go on now, there's about a 45-second chunk where you'll see his face come up. But what you'll hear is like audio from the start of the video. It's like from like 40 minutes earlier or whatever. Like it's a shit long video.
Yeah.
I don't know who's watching it. It's like way too fucking long. But I appreciate the few people who've come up and been like, what happened to your video?
Yeah.
So what's going to happen is I think I'll be downtown tomorrow and I'm going to remember. I'm going to put a reminder on my phone.
Yeah.
I'm going to re-upload the fucking video.
Yeah.
And fucking, it's just so,
Jesus.
I cannot understand the legal system there.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers said I can use this footage.
And
but UMG or whoever it is have the music in the clip.
Wow.
It's as if Hugh Jackman was sending me a message saying, I don't want you to use that. It's got my face in it. I'm like, it's not your movie, you idiot. Yeah. You're in it already.
Yeah.
So, that's just one of those things.
Interesting.
Like, bullshit. Anyway, back to my shitty laptop.
Back to
the reason for that was I was talking about like down here your office got like 100 megabits a second uploads.
Upload, yeah.
So it's like 15 minutes.
Down, 100 up or something like that. So, yeah.
And that's like mine's like 1 up.
Well, yeah.
5 down.
Even mine,
just personal.
5, so,
yeah. Just regular speed. So I just come here and like, here's 5 gigs and you go bloop, that's
it goes up like quicker than
it's great.
Like, quicker than you want. Like, shit, I haven't checked it.
But I was just thinking of that I think it was like 2 days ago or something, and we were some game or whatever it was, and it was just like I remember when we had to have games on cassettes and dial-up games and all that, and it's like now when it's not like 60 megabits a second, bloody 500 frame rate, you're like, it's fucking stupid game. Doesn't even work. It's like you're so spoiled. You get so spoiled so quickly.
I know. These days it's like internet's like dirt cheap, and we're just like, I want it faster, cheaper. You know,
I want to be able to see it before it happens. That's how fast I want it.
Why aren't 4K videos free? That's pretty much where we headed.
Yeah, on my phone in VR 3D rendered.
Yeah, we'll be there. We'll be there so soon. For everyone that is listening, I've got a kid on the way.
Everyone stopped listening.
Yeah,
they heard me bitching. They're like, here he goes.
I do have a kid on the way, and
congratulations, Al.
Congratulations. But I'm just wondering what he or she is going to be. I'm determined to always keep up with
based on your ultrasound. I'm going to say a monster.
Actually, we might release at Halloween. We got this ultrasound where the baby kind of turns sideways, and you can just see, because it's an ultrasound, you just basically see like
a skull,
the caves of the eyes, and it's just like looking. It's just like, oh my god, that's going to be our Halloween. But no, I'm determined to keep up with tech. But the day that my kid tells me like, nah, Dad, what the fuck you doing?
Yeah.
That's where I'm just gonna pack it in.
You're like, that's it. That's when the show's over.
Yeah.
The kid's gonna be like 4 and be like, what are you talking about? Why don't you just router it down through your Vivos? You're like, what? You just give me your phone. And that's when you're done. That's when you're like, when the kid takes the phone away from you or the computer. Yeah. And you're just like, no. I can do it. It's like, just let me do it. I'll be quicker.
Just let me do it. That's when the gladiator music, the cornfield music comes on.
You just have to walk away.
He's like, I'm going to bed. Might not wake up.
I'll do it. Just give me it. That's the sign of it. You've gone past it. I'll do it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like when your dad's like, what channel's the sports on there? And you're like, just give me the remote. I'll do it.
Yeah. I put in.
That's when you're past it.
I put in iOS 11 for my dad.
Yeah.
And iOS 11. I'm sure Android's got this, but they've got this new AR, augmented reality feature. So you can. You get like a tape measure and you can measure things. Yeah. So I showed my dad. I was like, we can measure this, we can measure that, and he was like, what the fuck is going on? But he was loving it. So he had his iPad and he was like, I'm going to measure the garden.
Yeah.
So, and then I was like, right, he's retired.
He's done.
He's done for like another year.
He's going to measure everything around the house.
Everything's going to, did you know?
Look at this, Alex. Look at this. I measured your whole room. I was like, Dad, it's 4 a.m. Get the fuck out of my room.
But back in the day, my dad was like the guy doing that stuff.
Yeah.
So there was a cut off time where he was just like, nah, Dad, give it to me. Hand it over.
Yeah, give me the remote. I'll do it. It's fine.
Yeah. Boom.
How do you set up the VCR? Just give it to me.
Wind the tape up.
Yeah.
Wind the tape. Rewind it. Bring it back to Blockbusters. Have you seen? I think we talked about it on the podcast. But the Blockbusters, there's only one.
There's one left.
And then
the last Blockbusters.
Yeah, people are just tweeting it. But anyway, on to some movie news.
Movies. It's all news this week. Unless, have you gone to see Kingsman?
No, I've not gone to see it. No, I have watched some new things. Well, actually, only one new thing. And I watched it yesterday. I watched all 3 episodes of Orville.
Oh, yeah, okay. How'd that go?
It was okay. It was background.
It was okay. That's a regular review.
I know. It was background. Fine. It was background viewing. Like, I was just on my phone and I looked up every now and again. But what I did like about it and what I didn't like about it. What I did like about it was it actually reminded me of Next Generation. So it reminded me of like an episode where they have like a cool... like some kind of event going on, or they were going down to a planet, because every episode's different. You know, like the new Star Trek's like a whole series. It's all about
that was on yesterday.
Yeah. Which I haven't seen. But
I wanted to watch 2 episodes. I wanted to give it 2.
You've seen them?
I haven't seen them.
Okay, yeah, I know there's 2 of them.
Yeah.
But for Orville, I like it because it's like Next Generation and Deep Space Nine and stuff, because everyone's different. So, like, they go down to a new planet, they discover this, they discover that.
Right.
It does have humor in it. It's not hilarious, but there are, every now and again, there's like, that's pretty funny. But to be honest, like, Next Generation every now and again was kind of funny as well.
Yeah, they'd have a little joke.
It actually reminds me a little bit of Next Generation. I don't want to insult Next Generation because that was great.
Yeah.
This is not as good as it. So I'm going to continue watching it because I found it funny at times.
Right.
But I liked it as... It sounds weird saying this, but I liked it as a background TV. Like, I was paying attention to it, but I wasn't like Jessica Jones, where I was like, I need to watch this, or Homecoming, where I'm going to watch every scene. It was more of a...
Something you're going to put on the train.
Yeah. But it's fun. It's fun. So I like that. Bad Things, it is like super cheesy, and the humor, I think, gets a little bit corny and the same, but I do... Seth is he's a funny guy, but some of it's like... Yeah, it's cheese. It's a massive cheese ball, but I didn't mind it.
I've heard Discovery's, like, the first reviews are pretty positive.
Discovery, I've heard positive things. I've heard mixed things as well.
Yeah. Like, I haven't heard anybody come out and say it's like Inhumans. It's a piece of shit.
No.
You should just, stab your own eyes out.
Best thing I've heard about it?
Yeah.
I've not seen it, but the best thing I've heard about it, apparently the intro is fucking awesome.
Okay.
So apparently the starting credits, really, really cool. So that's something to watch.
Yeah, I want to see what it's like.
Watch out for.
And just see how they're going to do this whole 1 season, 1 story.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Like, that's what I've heard. I don't know. They might have actually gone a different route and just be like, no, we're
maybe. But that's what I liked about Orville. I like that it was separate things.
Yeah.
Because they were on one planet, they were on another planet, they were doing something else. There's only been 3, but I like.
But that's a comedy show. You're kind of
but
like.
But it was like Next Generation as well. So. But yeah.
It's also it's the generation game. It's the generation game with new generations. It's the it's the style, it's the genre of the time. Like nowadays, people want a Game of Thrones. They want to sit down and binge. They want to see
a whole series.
Yeah.
It's basically like watching a big movie.
Yeah, so. Like I finished watching the 2nd season of Better Call Saul.
Oh, nice.
That's what I watched this week. Okay. And like that's a great show. It's good, I think it's probably the best prequel thing I've ever seen.
Oh, nice.
Because there's a point where I'm just like, oh, fuck, this is Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Like, I completely got so into this story.
Oh, cool. That's great.
That you stop watching it being like, oh, whatever. And season 2 has a lot of characters and stuff that come back in.
Right.
That we first saw in Breaking Bad, I mean.
Okay.
But it's not like, hey, remember this guy? Remember he was cool? It was like, oh, this is how this all happened. And because you know where it's going, everything's got this little tension to it. Like I remember watching bloody Star Wars Episode 1.
Right.
And it's just such a piece of shit. And it's just such a piece of shit because you have the Star Wars story and you know where Darth Vader's going. And they never bloody use that. Like they made like the kid in the first one, he was screwed. Like that film was just balls. And then the other two with Hayden Christensen, it's like he's just such a whiny prick.
Yeah.
Like clearly what you should have done is had him trying his best because we know he's going to fail.
Right, yeah.
That makes everything he does, you know, that kind of like dramatic feeling to it because you're like, oh, he's going to try and save the girl. He's going to try and be the best Jedi. He's going to try and help Obi-Wan. But you know he's going to fail.
Yeah.
And it's a tragedy. It's a constant tragedy of like, you know, at some point he's just going to crack and he's going to turn into this like monster.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's like what Better Call Saul is just like nailed down. It's just like, you know, he's going to turn into this like sleazy, corrupt kind of lawyer.
Right.
And after that, you know, like for people who've seen Breaking Bad, they know what happens to Saul at the end of this show.
Yeah.
And like because of that, every time he's trying and every time something happens and every time someone screws him over, you can see if that guy hadn't have done that, it would have gone a different way.
Nice.
And the whole show is built on this kind of idea of regret and interest into how it happened. Right. But he's his own character and he runs with it. And that's why, to go back to Discovery, to link it back to that.
Yeah.
That's why I don't know what the fucking point in going back for that was. Because you're going back to characters we've never met.
Yes.
So there's nothing there that, like, this is what I want to watch. Like, what is the point? What story are you telling?
I agree, yeah. Because are they rebooting it with the TV series?
No, it's not a reboot. So, like, that's the thing. I haven't quite gone into it. I kind of want to go a blank slate.
Sure.
As far as I know, it's Star Trek as we've always seen it. It's next gen.
Yeah.
It's Kirk and Spock original series.
Right.
It's Enterprise with Archer. It's still in that universe. It's not in the J.J. Abrams universe.
Right.
But it just, he's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're in this tiny little window between Archer and the Enterprise and Kirk and the Enterprise. Yeah. There's that like 100-year window. And you're stuck in there with like the first time they've met or dealing with Klingons and stuff. I'm like, why are you going back?
And they even look like
They look sure like the Star Trek movie version.
They do look like that, but I've heard they're like ancient Klingons or something, and that's why they look different.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about that. It was like there was a mutation that went through them and stuff. And because they had to explain why.
But yeah, we gotta watch it and
gotta
see
watch
kind
it.
Of thing. I don't mind it being like the long Game of Thrones thing.
No, that's fine. It's more like, why are you telling that? Like, this is what's going to happen with Game of Thrones, because they're going to do the Game of Thrones prequels after this next season wraps up.
That's right, and there's quite a few of them, isn't there?
And that's the kind of thing of like, oh, okay, that's interesting, because but it's that same point of like a prequel isn't interesting in itself, and I think that's what Hollywood and TV and they've all fucked up. I was just like, it's not interesting just to show it.
Yeah.
It's interesting when you make it interesting and then it happens to be connected to what we've already seen.
Of course, yeah.
Like Rogue One kind of skirted that line. It's a very delicate line of like, all right, it's pretty cool, but it's like that could have easily gone to the point of just, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I know what happens. They get the plans, and then Luke blew it up. It's easy. No one gives a shit. Who cares? It's just everyone's seen it. But it was interesting enough.
Yeah.
They were like, and it moved along fast.
It was one of my favorite Star Wars films.
I
wasn't expecting it to be.
It just had enough pace to it that you're like, okay. I can see this is a big deal. This is very important. This is a big thing.
Yeah.
But that's only going to work so often. And when it doesn't work, you're just left with Star Wars Episode 1.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. You need something to back it up with. Like Game of Thrones, people are going to be super interested in the prequels.
Yeah, when you show a young Ned Stark and you show and again, you know this thing of like, oh, you know Ned's going to get his head cut off.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
And also, they're doing it quite soon after, whereas Star Trek Discovery is like, I don't know, when was the last Star Trek series out?
Voyager was like 2000.
But there was one after Voyager, wasn't there?
Oh, there was Enterprise.
Yeah, which kind of bombed, didn't it?
It did bomb.
I never actually watched that one. So
it's why it seems like a really weird choice.
Yeah, and I think that's why I like Orville so much. And believe me, when I say I like, I don't mean like, oh, I need to tune in. I just like the fact that they're going to different planets. And just even though it's a comedy, I'm like, actually, it kind of is a Star Trek film as well. Or a Star Trek TV series, but it's just a corny.
It's just a light version of Star Trek.
Yeah, it's a light, but it's basically you've got Coors Light. It's a fucking Star Trek light. So, but at least they're going to new planets and discovering new things. Whereas this new Discovery one, like you said, prequel,
Klingons,
not super
Vulcans.
fun, but maybe they pulled it off. So
maybe they did.
Cast. So
yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's the last time Voyager was on air was 2001. Jesus.
Oh wow. Yeah, Voyager's legendary. And then Captain Janeway, she's in Orange is the New Black. Yeah,
she got arrested after she came back to Earth. That's probably why it took her so long.
Yeah, you can see why.
Enterprise hasn't been on since 2005, so it's like more than 10 years now.
Yeah, that's a long time. That is a long time.
Yeah.
Deep Space Nine. It's all about Deep Space Nine.
It's all about DS9.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that matters.
Actually,
cloaking.
Cisco's wife is in Orville. She's the Doctor.
Oh, okay. That's a nice nod.
It's nice to see a little link there. So.
His new wife, not his wife that got killed by the Borg.
Yeah, the new one. No.
Yeah, it had to be the new one.
Yeah.
You don't recognize the other one. You never see her.
I'm trying to think.
The woman who's a traitor. I can't remember her name.
Yeah, I know the one you mean. Yeah. Any other movie news for you?
There's news. There's not a lot of movies like I haven't seen. Kingsman's out, getting up and down reviews.
Yeah, I've been hearing some mixed things, but we'll have to, determine for ourselves. But I don't think it's going to be a cinema one for me, but maybe.
And then Blade Runner's out in
Looking
2 weeks.
To that. Yeah.
Hopefully I get to watch it.
Yeah.
And get to talk about it. But you still haven't seen the original, so you gonna
I'm looking
watch
forward to watching it. Oh, I'm watching the original like a day or two before.
Okay, so that'll be interesting.
I'm gonna do that thing. If possible, we should do a commentary while I haven't seen it. So that'll be fun.
In the middle of it, yeah.
Because I'll be like, what the hell's going on?
Who's this guy?
What? Harrison Ford?
It might be a real boring commentary though. There's a lot of very quiet moments in Blade Runner.
Oh, okay.
Because it's that detective like noir, just like walking around looking at shit.
Well, there's also a VR experience coming out of it as well, so that'll be good. We'll have to give that a go.
Hopefully, that's done better than their posters.
Yes, you weren't too impressed with those.
No.
So, the Tomb Raider trailer came out. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Her neck doesn't look so long.
Yeah, she didn't go full giraffe on
it. It
that.
looked alright. It looked standard. It didn't look. Honestly, I actually was expecting worse, but
in terms of
I don't know,
like everything else you've gotten from gaming.
Yeah,
Assassin's Creed and
World of
Warcraft. It's like, it's not got anything stupid in it.
Yeah,
it's a girl,
but it's
surviving.
It's just ticking those boxes, and it's not doing anything above that.
Yeah, it's like Cliffhanger with a pretty girl.
Exactly.
So you don't have to deal with like, she's from 500 years ago, and she's in the past, or there's an alien. It's like, no, it's just someone doing something.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't really have to screw that up. That should not be, that can't be a hard thing to adapt.
Yeah.
She's on a bloody island. She's bloody gonna survive. All right, just get it done. That's it. Like, don't faff about with anything else. Don't be like, well, you know, what was the one with Angelina Jolie where they had like, she went back in time to her dad, and
fucking awful.
You're like, she had to fight robots and shit.
Feeling
like,
the commentary.
Oh god. Yeah.
Feeling the commentary for that one.
Jared Butler was in that.
He was. I remember. He was the bad guy, wasn't he? Or was he the bad guy, or was he the?
No, he was a good guy that betrayed her. Wasn't that it?
I think so.
Spoiler alert for that piece of shit.
Spoiler alert.
That's
the best thing I've heard this week so far.
Spoiler alert.
It's only Monday, but.
So do you want movie news or do you want TV news to talk about?
Whatever, man. It's free for all.
We'll go on the TV news because I don't know if you'll have an opinion on it or not.
Sure.
HBO are in talks to do a Watchmen TV series.
Oh, I did read about that.
With Damon Lindelof, who's your fella from Lost.
Yeah.
And he also did the Star Trek movie. We're linking everything together this week.
It's all coming together.
It also kind of shows that we don't have anything new in our lives. And just run around in the same circles and the same things.
Did you like the movie? Watchmen?
No. Yeah. I just really love the comic. And
I've only ever seen it once.
Yeah.
It was memorable at the beginning. I always remember Bob Dylan and the guy being smashed through the window.
The beginning was very good.
Yeah. But I remember the rest of the film just being like, and then also someone must have animated that cock. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. So. The thing I have against the movie is that it's very bleh if you haven't seen the comic. Like, if you haven't read the comic, you watch the movie, you're like, yeah, that was okay.
Sure.
If you've read the comic, you're watching and be like, oh, that's the scene from the bit, and that's the thing. And I've met people who were like that. I know guys who were fans of the comic and they went and saw. I said, I loved it. It's just like the scene where he blew up this guy and he moved the tank, and I was like, but that's not a film.
Right.
That's just somebody filmed the bit in the comic book and put it on the movie screen. That's not a good movie.
Yeah.
And like, what do you mean? I'm like, that's not a good movie. So it's this weird thing of like, if you've read the comic, you might like it because you've read the comic. And if you haven't read the comic, you're probably going to be like, eh.
Right.
And then when someone like me comes along, like, oh, I should read the comic, they'd be like, no, I saw the movie, it's shit.
Yeah, I guess so.
I was like, but the comic's amazing.
Puts a downer on the comic.
Yeah. It's that thing of like, it's a good adaptation, but it's also a terrible adaptation because it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
To the source material.
I hadn't heard of it, and I wasn't really into those films back then. But the comic is super popular, I'm guessing.
Yeah, like the comic hasn't been out of print since it was first released in 1980. Oh, shit. There's a whole bunch of shit about Alan Moore, and like he's the guy who did V for Vendetta,
right?
And From Hell.
Because didn't it come out around the same time as like Sin City and stuff?
Yeah,
like that kind of thing was popular.
And it was the Zack Snyder thing, and it's like I'm not shitting on Zack Snyder. I'm just saying like there's no point to that film.
Right.
It's just taking what the comic did and put it on screen, but dropped everything that made the comic amazing.
Right.
And it's like, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't like it. Because
I heard that straight away from like everyone I met was saying like nothing like a comic book.
No.
Didn't do this, didn't do that.
And that's not like, and everyone says that like when you should have read the book. The book is all this in it. And even with Game of Thrones, people are like, oh, the book's so much better. It's like, of course it is. There's more time and there's more space.
Sure.
And that's why I think when you adapt something like that, you have to make it fit the medium. Like you have to do stuff in the Game of Thrones TV show that you can't do in a book.
Yeah.
You have to show a dragon burning shit. Because as much as you can imagine that on a book page, when you see it, you're like, that's awesome.
Sure.
The book can't do that.
Yeah.
And that's why like I'm harsh on adaptations, because I understand it's really hard to like respect what you're making, but you do have to take that risk and just be like, all right, we're doing something that can only happen in the movie.
Sure.
And if you don't do that, you're like, well, why am I watching this?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're not giving anyone anything to any reason.
And that's the thing with the Watchmen TV show is like they'll probably take a whole season or 2 seasons or whatever, because it was 12 issues, and they might go into all the detail about it. But then I'm like, what's the point? just.
Yeah, is the TV show looking any better? Or are they like?
They haven't shown any footage.
They've just kind of
it's not a new
it.
shot. Yeah,
So,
they're just
okay.
talking about it. But it's HBO. They do good shit.
Yeah, totally. They must have seen something in it. So
yeah,
I mean, surely they must have seen the Watchmen money. You know, the revenue that came in. So they must have been like, well, if it wasn't any good, then why would they back it? Or maybe whoever's directing it, the new stuff, they must see something in it. Exactly. So.
Yeah, and they had a recent run of comic books called Before Watchmen, which is like prequels to the Watchmen comics.
Right.
Which again is everything I just bitched about for the last 20 minutes. Like, it was a stupid prequel. It was just for money. Yeah. There's no point to it.
When's it due out next year?
They haven't. There's no dates or anything. It's just Lindelof is now attached. He's working on it.
I guess superheroes as well as all the
superheroes are And for HBO, like superheroes are all the rage. But like I think this will be the first superhero-y thing HBO does.
Them. Yeah, of course.
But this is the kind of stuff that has like sex and violence and drugs and all that. So
they'll go X-rated on
it. It's going to be a hardcore show. And it's HBO, so you can do whatever you want.
Keep it on the radar.
So I'm definitely going to pay attention to that one.
Yeah. A lot of people will have something to say about it, that's for sure. So,
because the comic's better.
The comic
is better. The other last piece of news I have is Terminator is coming back.
Sarah Connor is coming back to it. The original actor. I know Arnie's there.
Yeah.
And
Linda Hamilton's back and James Cameron's back.
That's fucking awesome.
I think next year he gets the rights back.
Yeah, I heard about this. So, I was wondering how prominent like Arnold's going to be in it. Is it going to be like the old films where they just CG'd him? But then I saw a photo of Arnie the other day. And he's like looking like super ripped and healthy. Like obviously,
I know he's a 7-year-old man. He looks like he could crush everybody.
So I'm like, fuck, he's looking like they might actually just use him for the full thing and not just CG him kind of thing. So like I know they'll use him, but I wonder if they'll go the way of like Terminators now have the wrinkled skin.
Like they tried to do that with Genesis, where it's like, we'll jump forward in time. And we'll just say that he ages. They've made it. I
think they'll probably go down that route, won't they?
But this is the thing I was saying of. This movie might take place as Terminator 3.
Oh, really?
So Cameron might drop everything after Terminator 2.
That's a good idea, but also very confusing for people.
Terminator makes no sense.
No, but
it makes not a fucking lick of sense.
2, and then what's he going to do? Call it 3 for real?
Yeah.
I don't know,
T3.
Because whenever I was talking to people at work about this, and because they're not like huge Terminator fans, but they were like, Terminator 3, is that the one with the woman? That's the way they don't call it by its name.
Yeah, exactly.
The one with the woman, and then there's other ones where, where's the one with Christian Bale in it? And in the new one, they don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
It's like they don't know who was in it or whatever.
Is that the one with the thing? The one where the app can kill you? Is that the one?
Yeah.
It's like, that's the latest one.
The one of the woman.
But you've also got in the middle of all that, the TV show.
Of course, yeah. Which was that called Salvation? Terminator Salvation?
No, that's the Christian Bale one.
Oh, okay.
The TV show is the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
I watched season 1 of that.
That's complicated to say. Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Yeah, who came up with that and said that rolls off the tongue?
Just called the Terminator TV show.
I did watch the first season of that.
Oh yeah? Was it good?
It was decent. It was like the budget wasn't there, but it was decent. So yeah.
So yeah, Cameron might do the 6th movie.
Okay.
But it'll be the 3rd movie.
Yeah.
Because he can't go to the future.
Yeah.
Because he's got Linda Hamilton back.
Right.
So it's probably going to be in the modern day.
That'd be kind of cool though. I'd like to see that.
But that's why he has to drop Terminator 3.
Right.
She's dead in that because she didn't come back for it.
Right.
As an actress, I mean.
So he's just kind of...
I don't mean they killed Linda Hamilton to make the movie.
That would be really interesting to see how they kind of frame that and how they say, like, ignore that film. I'm just kind of interested.
I think at this point...
Has that been done before?
Well, if you think about it from the point of the actual movies...
Yeah.
Terminator Genesis shat all over everything that was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Because in that one, a Terminator goes back to when she's a kid and saves her in like the 60s or 70s.
Yeah, I remember.
So you're like, none of it makes sense anymore. It just, none of it makes any sense.
It's all over the shop. But I wonder if they'll
But that's why, like, Cameron's the kind of guy who's like, I'm not fixing this.
Yeah.
This ain't my problem.
No.
I did two that were fine.
So I'll carry on.
So yeah, fuck these idiots.
I'm just wondering from a naming convention whether he'll do like, this is stupid here, but like Terminator 2.5. You know?
Yeah.
Just to link it a little bit.
He does have to do...
Because is it called Terminator 3?
The third one was. The woman
Was it
one.
actually called number 3?
Yeah, okay. T3.
I do remember the latest one, by the way, how it's famous. Because it's Khaleesi.
Yeah, exactly. So but even then, it's everyone's like, she's a terrible Linda
Hamilton. She wasn't
Hamilton.
actually that great in it. So she was okay, but she wasn't that
great. It was Khaleesi and it was Captain Boomerang.
Oh, that's the one. Yeah. Who was the bad guy in that? Like the actor? I got his face. I just don't know in too many things myself.
Bloody hell, I don't know. It was the guy from...
I've got his face.
Doctor Who. Because there's two bad guys. There's the John Connor, who's now a robot John Connor.
Yeah, the robot John Connor.
But then there's the Terminator in the future that kills the human John Connor, and that's Doctor Who.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Huh.
And then the ultimate bad guy is the latest iPhone update, or whatever it was. Bloody thing. Terminator 3 was Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines.
Right. So... yeah, I'm just curious to see how they're gonna delete that. Not delete it, but just say like, don't bother with this.
I don't know if it makes sense. It's bullshit.
It might be like, I'm trying to help them out here. You know, like number 2 is called Judgment Day. Yeah. So is it something like Judgment Day continues? You know, whatever. Like they need
Terminator
to link it somehow.
Armageddon, because they did that because they didn't call Terminator 4 Terminator 4.
Yeah.
It's Terminator Salvation.
Yeah.
And then it's Terminator Genesis.
So
this one
they could just call it something like that, and then
just call it Terminator's back.
Yeah. And then the press and everyone's just going to be like, this is James Cameron and it's following this one, you know. So
I wonder if he's going to direct it though, because I know he owns the rights to it. But like he's balls deep in the Avatar movies he's been trying to make. Like he's trying to make 3 of them at once or something, or 4 of them at once.
Yeah, I think he is.
And everyone's like, first one wasn't that good,
Super
James.
expensive.
We all just went to see it because you're 3D, you fuck.
We've talked about it on a podcast before. Like we've all seen Avatar, but we've never seen it again.
No,
because none of us have been
quote me a line from Avatar.
Yeah, that she can't. And also, the only thing
give me the tune, the music.
Only thing I've ever done with Avatar is show it off in 3D because the 3D was awesome on a TV.
Yeah,
literally just show off one of the scenes and then turn it off. That's it.
Yeah, what even put on in the background?
It's a tech demo.
Yeah.
So,
what I was gonna say? Oh yeah, it was a quick. I think we talked about it before in the podcast, but there's 2 good Terminator movies.
Yeah.
So they're out. And there's 3 other Terminator movies.
Yeah.
So there's more bad Terminators than there are good Terminators, right? So we need Cameron to balance it.
Yeah.
But out of the 3 bad Terminator movies, which one's your favorite?
3 bad ones?
Yeah. So Rise of the Machines.
Yeah.
Salvation. Genesis. Because everyone's got to have one.
I think it will be Salvation.
Because now there's kids that were born who know nothing about.
So we need to
if you weren't born pre-2000.
Yeah, that's true. Then
you're in a whole different Terminator world.
Yeah, you'd be like, what do you mean Terminator Judgment?
Because Terminator 1 was 81.
Yeah.
And I should know, there's a video on it. And then Terminator 2 was 1991 or something.
Right.
So like that's that. And then Terminator Rise of the Machines came out in 2003.
Yeah.
So it's like millennial difference. So out of the like post-2000 era, which one of the Terminators would you actually like? Yeah,
I think Salvation. I remember enjoying Salvation. There were definitely some flaws in it. It would go Salvation, then it would go Genesis, the end one, and then it would go number 3 for me.
So you
number
hate
3,
the third
I
one?
just fucking hated. Yeah, I just didn't like it at all. Salvation, I enjoyed. I just liked the whole post-apocalypse, like the way they pulled it off. I kind of like Christian Bale in it as well. And then the last one, Genesis, there were bits that I liked about it. But it was also just...
I like the start of Genesis. That was all right.
Yeah, until the whole John Connor thing. Like, it all went a bit tits up.
What I did not understand in Genesis, if we're going to bitch about them. We got into a Terminator bitch. And everyone knows this. It's like they have a time machine.
Yeah.
They went forward to like whatever it was, 48 hours or 24 hours before the machine's released.
Yeah.
It's like, why? Just don't do that. You know what's going to happen.
Right.
Just change it now and live your lives.
Yeah.
Like it made no sense. And for like that whole 20 years or 30 years, Arnold Schwarzenegger just has a regular job.
Yeah, no, I was wondering that one. Yeah,
and I'm
just like, what are you doing?
He's working in the machines thing.
Yeah,
and he's got technology. He's a piece of technology that's more advanced than anything on Earth.
Yeah.
Surely to fuck, he could fix the problem right then and there. It's like taking a supercomputer back to 1960s. You'd fix everything. You'd know everything that's happening. You'd break all the well, maybe, I guess you look at it that way. It's like if you took something back, then there's nothing to hook it up to. You're too advanced. You can't actually
where's the power?
Interface with anything.
Sure.
But anyway, piece of shit.
Yeah. That's the thing with time travel. You can always pick things
but
apart.
Terminator totally fucked it up. That's why I think Genesis is the one I hate the most.
Yeah.
The one I tolerate is Terminator 3.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Only because of the ending of that.
I haven't seen it for a while, but I just remember not liking it.
There's a spoiler for people who haven't seen it. But again, it's shit.
Yeah.
The thing about that movie was John Connor thinks Judgment Day is gone and everyone's alive and he's going on. And then the Terminator comes back and then Arnold tells him, oh no, what happened was Skynet just delayed it.
Right.
So we have to destroy Skynet now. And then there's like everything that they'd always talked about, they're finally seeing, like Judgment Day. Skynet comes alive, starting to fire the missiles. And the whole movie built up to this very stupid thing of like Arnold's going to fight the girl Terminator and John Connor's going to go and destroy Cybernet.
Yeah.
Or Cyberdyne and destroy Skynet. Yeah,
they were in like an office block building at the end or something.
At the very end, they're...
Was that right one?
There's a mountain.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
Oh shit, yeah.
They're at the factory or whatever where all the robots are built. And you see like the prototype Terminators.
Yeah.
And then they say, oh no, Skynet isn't here. The main control is under this mountain. So they go to the mountain and that's when they're having the fight.
Right.
He fights it. Then they get to the mountain and then this door slams shut. And suddenly it becomes realized that the nuclear war happens. And all the bombs have gone off and they didn't stop it. And he's just sitting in this fucking thing and he realizes this is where the president of the United States would go. There was a nuclear bomb. And he's not there. He's the only guy left. And then all these radio calls come in being like, hey, who's in charge here? What's going on? And he's like, I'm John Connor. And that's when he realizes he has to take over.
Right.
So the whole movie, the Terminator was lying to him. He was telling him that you can change the future, that you can make a difference, that you can do. And he's like, no. His only mission was to get him safe.
Yeah.
So that he can become the resistance leader. And I like that.
Yeah.
Because even though it shits all over the second movie's message, which is like, you can change the future.
Sure.
They didn't kill Miles Dyson.
Yeah.
They showed him what he did was wrong. In this, it's like, the future's always coming.
Yeah.
You're always fucked.
Can't get away.
Yeah. And that was just that twist. I did not see it coming because the film had been, this is the thing. The film is so shit and so stupid.
Couldn't see
that
it
I did not think that they were going to do anything smart with it.
Right.
Like there's a point where Arnold Schwarzenegger is walking through a graveyard carrying a fucking coffin, shooting up all these policemen. I'm like, this movie is not going to be great.
That was in all the trailers.
And maybe that's the secret to getting nearly excited. Just do something so awful for an hour and fucking 45 minutes. And then that last 2-minute moment, you're just like, that was good, wasn't it? I was like, oh, that was good. I didn't see that coming because I fell asleep there.
I completely forgot about that, to be honest. Like, I forgot.
That's the thing, because it's so easy to forget how shit that is.
Yeah.
Or no, so easy to remember how shit it is. You forget how good that little twist at the end is.
Yeah.
But it's not worth it.
Yeah.
It is not worth it.
Well, you did your analysis on the film, so I guess it's still fresh in your head.
Yeah, like I watched all of them.
All the painful memories.
Like Salvation's good. I like Salvation.
Right.
But at the same time, Salvation, the moment you look at it for a second, fucking stupidest fucking movie ever.
Right.
Like this whole thing of like, oh, we're going to build a half human, half Terminator. And he'll find out where John Connor is. And then hopefully John Connor doesn't become friends with him. But if he does, we'll lead him to this place. I was like, oh, fuck off.
I can't remember all of it. I just remember it being
like
decent.
Everything up until like they start having a plan falls apart. Because there's one moment where I just totally tuned out where the machines identify Kyle Reese, who's played by Anton Yelchin, a young Kyle Reese.
Yeah.
and they know that Kyle Reese is John Connor's father in the past. And they notice it, that it's him. They recognize him. They scan him and go, Kyle Reese. And they're like, we'll use him as bait. And they're using him as bait so that they can lure John Connor in to kill John Connor.
Right.
Whereas if you just kill Kyle Reese, you win the war. John Connor's never born. And they know that. And they say that. And I'm like, what is even happening right now? It just made no sense whatsoever.
Right.
But yeah, apart from like that, it's
apart from that,
apart from being totally stupid, it's still better than Genesis.
Yeah, I just can't remember. I can't even remember. I only remember Genesis because it's the latest one.
Yeah,
but I remember.
And even then, you couldn't even remember bloody Khaleesi was in it.
Yeah, I know exactly. There's one thing I just remember. There was the woman in number 3. I remember Khaleesi, and then good old Christian Bale.
Yeah. Well, that's all my news for this week.
Yeah.
Me and you just bitching about they don't make TV the way I want to make it, and the movies they're making aren't the way I want to make it.
But I want them in higher 4K.
And you're gonna watch Kingsman soon, and then we'll both watch Blade Runner. We'll talk about that.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then we've got good old Justice League, and we've got Thor. Those are all Novembers, though, aren't they?
There was a little Justice League rumor.
Oh yeah.
That this is just a small thing. I don't know if it's true or not. That they've cut out all the Lex Luthor. Joss Whedon has cut out all of Lex Luthor.
Oh shit. Okay.
So
interesting.
I'm guessing he wasn't a big deal.
Sure.
There's no way you can cut him out if he was a big deal.
Yeah. Well, he's fucking annoying anyway.
He's fucking annoying.
Yeah. So that's completely fine with me.
So that's one thing of like he's out. So.
Yeah. I wonder how do you tell the actor and be like, by the way, you're not going to be in the film. It's just like, oh, okay.
There's a weird, not a weird story. Most people might not have seen it. It's called The Thin Red Line.
Yeah.
By Terrence Malick.
Yeah.
You've seen the movie?
Yeah.
Beautiful film. One of my favorites.
It was a while ago again, but yeah.
But Adrian Brody's in that.
Right.
And Adrian Brody thought he was the star of that movie.
Oh, and then
which he was based on the script.
He edited it.
And yeah, the way Terrence Malick edits is he's like, I'm going to take this picture of a tree, and I'm going to take this picture of a kid laughing, and I'm going to show this guy's legs getting blown off, and he's kind of like painting, like that's the way everyone describes his editing. He's kind of like painting with whatever he wants. So the story he came up with in the editing room was a whole different story, which had Jim Caviezel's character as the main guy. Yeah. And he never told bloody Adrian Brody, and Adrian Brody was doing all this press for it, and it was only on like the red carpet or someone said, have you seen the movie, Adrian? It's like, no, it's the first time I'm going to see it tonight. He's like, okay. He's in it 5 minutes. He's in it for like 5 fucking minutes. And he thought he was like front and center star man.
Yeah, like, that's kind of funny, actually.
Yeah. But that's an extreme case.
Yeah.
Mostly it'd be like, no, you can't cut the guy out. He's in the bloody movie.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if he's going to be on the red carpet.
So. Yeah. I think if they're going to make that decision of like, you're not in the movie, they just get another actor in before they're editing it.
Big time. Yeah. I'm guessing Lex Luthor wasn't in it too much anyway, like you said.
Nah, he's probably in prison being like, I'll get you, Batman.
Yeah, we're going to cut you out. So
you're gone. Come on, Jesse, you're done.
Don't need that shite.
Or just do one scene where you kill him. Just kill him. Have Batman kill him.
Just shoot him in the head.
Just shoot him in the head. He'll do it. He'll kill a baby. He doesn't care.
Or Superman just fuck the character up. Starts killing people.
That's the first thing Superman does when he comes back. Is just kill Lex.
It's like, I feel like a new man.
That was your fault. Heat vision to the face. So that's everything for this week.
That is everything. Yeah. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yeah.
If you have any topics you want us to talk about, we will get on that. But
they have to let us know at Rant Bollox.
Yeah.
On the Twitter.
It's been
tell us what your favorite one of the shit Terminators is.
Yeah, let us know.
I should have asked this when I released my Terminator video.
That's true.
What's your favorite shit Terminator?
Let us know those things, and we're on Instagram now as well, so you're going to see some posts from that.
I see our stupid faces. See me crying as Alex beats me over the head again at bloody PlayStation.
And there'll be a commentary coming as well.
Yes.
We'll let you know which film shortly.
As soon as you let me know, that'll help, Al.
Yeah.
But whatever.
That's what we need to work out. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Always been a pleasure. Yeah. And looking forward to episode 23.
Yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Watch out for any scary clowns out there.
Oh, yes.
They're coming out. I'll throw down.
Floating.
Hello, Georgie.